post-pandemic era, both organizations and customers are accelerating the deployment and consumption of digital services. But as companies virtualize their IT and shift to remote work environments, the perimeters of the enterprises have been considerably extended. Since last March, there has been an 85% surge in cyber attacks, with data thefts and ransomware becoming more prominent. The risk to the governance, management, and protection of data flows through personal devices, home networks, and virtualized cloud platforms or public networks has increased enormously. To safeguard the extended enterprise, security leaders can no longer depend solely on event based analysis to detect anomalies and take preventive measures. They need better, faster, and more intelligent solutions to forestall data breaches. New advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning make it possible to detect and remediate the growth volume and complexity of cyber attacks even in under-resourced security operations. This brings us to the question, what should be your threat protection strategy in the sense how you must behave to provide effective and comprehensive protection to your systems, users, and endpoints. We have panel of esteemed jury members who would be judging the workshop presentations and help us pick the top two teams. They are Abhishek Gupta, CIO and CDO, Dish TV India; Arindam Singha Roy, Group CIO and CISO, East India Udyog Limited; Mehriyar Patel, Group CIO and Digital Solutions, Gina and Company; and Suresh Kumar, Partner and CIO, Grant Thornton, India. If any of our jury members have joined in, I would request them to have a brief 1.5 minute message for the participants. Abhishek Gupta, Arindam Singha Roy, Mehriyar Patel, Suresh Kumar, if any of you have joined in, can I request you to have a brief message for our participants?
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead.
This is Mehriyar Patel from Gina and Company. I lead digital transformation for my company, and I think for every organization today, building transformation is closely linked to your security, which is going to be very foremost in your working, in your day-to-day life of whatever you provide as in solutions to your company. It is going to be absolutely prime and importance to see that all the infrastructure and applications that you provide are up and running without any threats, any security compromises that you would face. And I think it is very, very prime to look at these strategies upfront. Now, one of the very important points to note is that everybody thinks that cloud is safe and security on the cloud is taken for granted. But I think we need to revisit that strategy very, very well. Consider these important points, which are going to be probably showstoppers in your coming few days. And I think the threat formulation will continue growing. So I think probably we should look at these perceptions versus reality very carefully. Thank you.
Thanks, Mehriyar, for sharing your message for the participants. Now, can I request Suresh Kumar to share his message for participants? Over to you, Suresh Kumar.
Thank you, Mahentesh, and good afternoon, everyone. So I'm a partner and CIO for Grant Thornton, India. We are a consulting firm. So I have two roles to play. One is, of course, to protect my own organization. And the second is to help our clients, our customers, safeguard their IT infra and their IT environments. And many of the clients are in very areas like BFSI and even manufacturing and realty and different sectors. But one point is common across, of course. Cybersecurity has become the most important agenda for the board. The the board of directors of companies. Now it is a prominent matter, and usually people when they try to think about cybersecurity, they think of everything and they forget about the endpoint security. Our experience is endpoint security is extremely important, if not more important than others, especially in the work from anywhere, work from home environment. Endpoint security, working over cloud, I think that's extremely important. So my suggestion to everyone is to take endpoint security as extremely important factor in your overall, security framework. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh, for your message for the participants. Can I now request Abhishek to share his message for the participants? Over to you, Abhishek.
Good afternoon, everybody. I think it's a case study based next hour and a half session. So first of all, and all the best to all the participating team members. The first and important foremost thing, the participants need to understand the case study so that they can come up with their thoughts. It's a very interesting one as I have gone through it. In terms of the overall security landscape, I think my fellow co-panelists have already shared their pearls of wisdom. My only additional point is think holistically, because you are as good as the weakest link in the chain. So you need to constantly identify and remove that link to make you more secure. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Before we begin, let me quickly outline for you how this workshop will run now. All of you are muted. If you'd like to ask a question, please type it in the chat box. We will begin the workshop with a short talk by expert from Kaspersky. The purpose of his talk is to give you background information on the solutions which can be used to solve the case study. So please pay close attention to the talk. After the talk, all delegates will be assigned to a virtual team in a breakout room to analyze the case study and create a presentation. The case study has been already sent to you by email. It will also be shared with the teams in the breakout rooms. Towards the end of today's session, one person from each team will be invited to present the team's solutions to all the attendees. To inject a little friendly competition into the event, we have prizes for the best presentations. Rupees 3,000 gift voucher for each team member of the winning team. Rupees 2,000 gift voucher for each team member of the runner-up team. We have with us today Dipesh Kora, General Manager, Kaspersky, South Asia, to walk us through the intricacies involved. Before we begin, allow me to briefly introduce our expert. Dipesh is based in Mumbai and has over 17 plus years of experience in business development, large account management, client relationship management, strategic planning for large enterprise and BFSI deals. Prior to joining Kaspersky, Dipesh held senior leadership roles in IT companies like PwC and Gartner Research in India. Just a reminder, if you have a question during the presentation, please post it in the chat box. They will be answered by the speaker at the end of his talk. Welcome, and over to you, Dipesh.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for sparing a late Saturday afternoon with us. I will not spend too much time giving you jargons, but I would ideally want to come straight to the point, show you some numbers, some figures, which are very India-centric. So let's begin. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, it is visible. You can go ahead.
Just the screen a bit. All right. So, gentlemen, coming straight to the point. Does this number sound, create a bell, make you think in some way or the other? This number for us, this is an India-based number. This is a number which India has never seen before from a cyber threat perspective. So in the quarter of April, May, and June, India has seen 8.3 million cyber attacks, which are twice the cyber attacks that we faced around the same time last year, which is obviously a very, very alarming situation. It is a clear connection with the work from home, work from anywhere kind of a scenario, because there are no perimeters today and people are free to work from anywhere. So obviously the kind of restrictions or the kind of surveillance or the kind of supervision that you as a user for your organization had when you used to work from office is suddenly gone away, because no BCP planning has ever worked in this kind of a scenario. Nobody had this kind of a BCP planning in place. So if you look at numbers right now, look at the kind of numbers that we have. India is ranking 37th globally from a cyber threat perspective. Just between January and February this year, we have had 40% of the attacks already that the entire country faced last year. So between 2 months, we've had 40% of cyber attacks that we had last year. The numbers in July are more than scary. Just July has seen 4.5 million attacks. And these are hardcore India numbers that I am talking about. And these are Kaspersky numbers, because we have our endpoints and we have our threat intelligence services, which are India focused. So these numbers are India focused numbers. Now, going ahead, what is the new trend that we are looking at? We've all heard ransomware. We've all heard targeted attacks. We've all heard spear phishing. We've heard all kinds of these jargons. What is new in the cyber world today? There is an upgraded version of cyber attacks in the ransomware community, and this is known as ransomware 2.0. And this is something that I want everyone to know, because this is the biggest threat that is evolving month on month for the India market. So what is ransomware 2.0? Let's take a step back. Ransomware. What is ransomware? Ransomware was a situation created by a malware injected into your endpoint or your server in such a way that your entire data gets encrypted. So your machine is in the control of some third person, a hacker, a bad guy, a cyber criminal, whatever you want to call him. You pay him some money in the form of bitcoins or whichever method of transactions that are agreed on. He decrypts your data and hands over your machine back to you. This was ransomware. Ransomware traditionally worked on a mechanism of spray and pray, that a bunch of attackers would release a bad malware into the market and would wait for the innocent guys to just go and happen to click on it, and there goes the payload into the machine, and there happens the encryption. So that was very generic in nature. It was meant for the masses. But what has made ransomware 2.0 more destructive and more difficult to handle is that now ransomware has been merged with targeted attacks. So what is happening right now is attackers are taking a very planned approach. So it's like a red teaming operation where they decide that they shortlist organizations, they find the loopholes into the organization, they plan a proper attack onto the organization, they exfiltrate the data first. So in the earlier version of ransomware, there was never data exfiltration that happened. The only thing that happened was they would encrypt, you pay the money, and they decrypt and they go. In ransomware 2.0, they not only encrypt your data, but before they encrypt the data, they steal the data. So your data is out in the bad world, in the dark web, and you are being attacked and made to pay ransom for that. So even after you have paid the ransom, you are still not safe, because that same data is being used against you, either to blackmail you again or sell that data out in the market. So Ransomware 2.0 is one of the most lethal, most destructive forms of cyber attacks which are being used today. And we all, at least at this point in time, agree that any organization can be faced by a ransomware kind of a situation. You don't need to be one of the top 10 organizations into a country that a ransomware attack would happen. So how do we classify? What we have done in Kaspersky, and with all my cyber experience that I have, I think it is the right way of classifying attacks. So today we are in a situation where we break the attacks, or we break the cyber maturity of an organization at 3 stages. Stage one is where you need to handle the commodity threats, which are huge in number, may not be very destructive, but would be problematic. Second stage is the evasive stage, where you need to invest, or you are more cyber aware, cyber mature, and you want to take scenarios where you want to investigate situations. You want to look at different kind of cyber scenarios and plan your strategies accordingly. And the third one, of course, is the expert level. In an expert level, you have your own SOC, you are doing threat investigations, you have a security policy roadmap planned, you have your SOAR, you have your SIM, and so on and so forth. However, in spite of all kind of tools that are available today, the resource crunch is the biggest problem. So today, for an organization, buying a tool is not as difficult, because the availability of tools and options are there. But the bigger challenge faced by organizations today is that who does the management of those tools? There is a severe scarcity of qualified resources that can handle a cyber situation for an organization. So in such a scenario, we at Kaspersky, we've anyways come up with situations, we identify this gap, and we are trying to fill this gap for the end user as much as possible with the MDR kind of a solution, where we can do the threat huntings for you, we can do the discovery for you, we can plan your response mechanism. If we see something, we know how to mitigate it, raise the right kind of alarms, give you the hand holding for sailing out of a situation if you have come in. So we are trying to cover the resource crunch gap as well for the organizations. We would get deeper into these discussions as we proceed into the later stages of the presentation. But I would actually want, if I can say that, I would want your attention for another 1.5 minutes. I'm playing a clip for you, a video clip that actually would help you understand the different layers of security and how the security maturity curve happens and how structuring can be done. And from the organization perspective, you can at least correlate and understand what level of security or cyber maturity that you guys are onto. So here is the clip. Hope the sound is available. Sound is on?
Yeah.
That's from me, guys. I have Arun with me, my cyber expert. he would be guiding us through the later stage of these discussions and would deep dive into solutions that we've discussed. Arun?
Yeah, Deepesh. Thank you, Deepesh. Hope I'm audible and visible both, and my screen is visible.
Yes, Arun, we can hear you and see your slides as well. Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Mostly like means Deepesh have taken us through the various stages how cybersecurity approach works, and what are the scary part of like 8.3 million and all those statistics. I believe definitely it would have made you scary. Yeah, before we start begin like means solution part it is those scary points, how to address and how to tackle, and how as an organization we can safeguard our organization together. Before that, let me introduce myself. Myself, Arun Gandhar, been working with Kaspersky for 7 months and in the IT and cybersecurity industry for 19 plus years. So let's start with this. With definitely as a CIO of an organization, these are the questions, vital questions, with all the statistic which has been showed by Deepesh. So you would be definitely forced to think whether your organization is under attack right now, whether it is already attacked or some attack, some kind of advanced or target attack is happening, or whether if it is not happening in your organization, whether any the industry specific attacks are happening across the industry, and the same attack has been happened to your organization. Then if it has come, from where it has come, if it has managed to get into your organization, then what impact it has done to your host server or endpoints, and are there any hidden layers to it? So it is just a commodity threat, or it is a threat which is lurking in your network, and you seems to be a commodity threat, but something else is happening. It is trying to connect to a command and control center, or it is maybe doing a remote code execution or running some rat like files. And uh, if it is found on one endpoint or server or laptop workstation, whether the same thing is exhibited in across your infrastructure. So those things also has to be understood. And these are the vital questions. These are the very vital questions where as an organization, definitely in today's scenario, like being the ransomware 2.0 is talked about, and now it is getting monetized, and it is literally business disruptions, things are happening where all the data is gone. So definitely we need to have answers to these questions, and let's together find out what kind of answers and what kind of solution can appropriately means mitigate these questions and much more. So as Deepesh already showed you in the like means security foundation and optimum framework and expert framework, we have mapped with the maturity of the security team of any organization. So if even though it's the base, the security foundation is bigger one, the commodity threats, 90% of the chunk is there, but still it can be managed with IT. With the tools means with the solutions what we offer, be it as OS hardening, vulnerability and patch management, or all those things we will see in my upcoming slides, it can be mitigated. Then the second layer is optimum framework, where IT security team is required, where they can understand what exactly is happening behind the scene, do a little bit of root cause analysis, and do a little bit of response also with our automated response scenarios. And then the targeted attacks, where like means unknown TTPs are involved, and tactics, tools, and procedures has been involved in the targeted expert framework. So there we need a dedicatedly approach of a security team, where definitely a SOC team is required, or at least a mature security analyst team is required. So we will be articulating, I will be articulating means with the features, with the products where we can have in all these three frameworks set by Kaspersky. So to start with, Kaspersky Endpoint Security for Business, this is the commodity, even though it is, as Abhishek sir was rightly mentioned, that like means in this pandemic, definitely it is the base. still the base, we can talk about a lot of things, but still the base remains same. Endpoint has to be secure, because the weakest link in the chain is the the weakest link of the organization, and the weakest link of any chain, any organization, is the employee. And all those things starts from the endpoint, and it is reports are there that means 84% of infections happens from an endpoint perspective by phenomenon. And to mitigate endpoint security in the to enforce the endpoint security on employee side, so basically it has to be a little bit of zero trust approach. Means what we can do is basic things the operating system should be patched, vulnerability and patch management should be there. If any data theft is happening, if any stolen is happening, then the data should be encrypted. When it leaves the organization, it should be encrypted. And various other features controls where maybe the insider employee may be a naive employee, or maybe an advanced employee, who is trying to do something, but still the controls like web control, application control, and behavioral control, and adaptive anomaly control, so device control. So those things will help to reduce the attack surface to it drastically. And then also that we cannot just reduce the attack surface of the employee, but we can also go to an extent putting measures like exploit protection, behavioral protection, where it can also do little bit of UBA of user entity behavior analysis also it can do. And all those things, because it is a larger chunk of the threat landscape, it should do automate. So how much automate we can do, because skill set is scarcity. So how much automate we can do, those things will be a eye opener. Those things will be a good thing to think about, any organization to take on those details actually. Then comes that once the basic level is fixed, then we can move to a extended approach where we have to control okay, the prevention part is done, then we have to get a visibility. So what exactly is happening, what the employees are doing, whether any malicious code is running, whether any arbitrary or obfuscated commands are running. So those things we need to understand. And to understand that, Kaspersky has XDR approach where we combine sandbox, we combine endpoint and network into a single platform. So in a single platform, you can able to see what the network data collected from IP, collected from email, collected from web gateways. So all those things can be put as a sensor in various places. If it is a multi-branch organization, it can be put in various places and connected to the IT infra, and get the telemetry from the network. And in the meantime, it can be also installed with the endpoint. So endpoint, be it your server, Linux, or Windows workstation or laptop, roaming laptop, everything can be from there. Also, we get all the data correlated, and then it happens after the data collection happens with if any 0 days are there, if any newly seen, if any piece of code is there, then it runs in our advanced sandboxing. When I say advanced sandboxing,
Arun,
it is
5 more minutes to go.
Yeah, sure. So with anti-evasive technology, definitely it will understand if any malware is coming, which is virtual aware malware. So those things can be mitigated. And this happens with our you can get a complete visibility of root cause analysis. You can do IOC based detection. Then we have targeted attack analysis. So almost all it will give a complete visibility of network traffic analysis, endpoint activity, unified visibility and control it will give in a single platform. Then comes a threat intelligence, where it has threat data feeds and cyber tests to start with, where it can combine, threat data feed can give to match the if any internal SIMs are there. So SIM and threat data feed externally can be matched, and it can be a very fruitful to understand whether any of your events, security incident or event is matching with the external what is happening. And for that we have cyber trace also, where it can be correlate with all those matched objects. Then we have APT intelligence and financial threat reporting, where it gives a perspective about what exactly is happening on the organization, and it will give also IOC and YARA rules to put that into mitigate any forthcoming risk. And best part is like we have digital footprint. We will see that in upcoming slide. So just to start with, like what is the threat intelligence? How Kaspersky is powerful? And this is like we have literally in all geographical area. This is like we get the intelligence sources from Kaspersky Security Network, web crawler, open source intelligence, and we have spam tags and bot pumps. Then it goes through a recursive filter by Kaspersky Great Team, which is global research and enterprise analysis team. Then we have SOC, we do a lot of red teaming. Kaspersky has own cert actually for ICS. So all those things get filtered and it is given in a threat intelligence platform to the customer. So they will get a rich feed of IP reputation, URL, or malicious vulnerability feed, or if anything is there, this can be directly integrated to their SOAR and TIP platform, and or any SIM they are using, or it can be used with a cyber trace, which can ingress all the data feeds from Kaspersky threat feed and from Kaspersky threat feed or open source intelligence feed or other commercial feed. So SIM will send the raw data to Cybertrace. Cybertrace will collate all those data, and then in a triage, it will prioritize and enrich the data validation. Then it will send back to SIM, or it can be also accessed by Cybertrace. So if you're having multiple SIM also, it can be integrated with single Cybertrace from a single platform. It can give a complete visibility and alert prioritization also it can be done. As I was discussing about, sorry, I'm just getting a little faster because time is for the benefit of time. So intelligence reporting, we have APT intelligence reporting, financial threat intelligence reporting. So business specific, it will give complete detail about what is happening and how to mitigate those. And we also have tailored threat reporting module. So for industry specific, country specific, we can give. With digital footprint intelligence, it gives complete detail about digital presence of any organization, which is what domains, subdomains, IP addresses, networks, what are the vulnerabilities are there, if their user data or breach data or anything is mentioned in the dark web, anything is mentioned in any of the forums, whatever is being told. So all those details will be shown in the digital footprint intelligence. It gives social understanding, little bit of brand protection actually, where exactly on organization, how it is looked at from the digital presence, from the outside, whether any vulnerability exploits are there. Then on top of that, Kaspersky Security Assessment, we do a lot of services actually in threat intelligence. We do a lot of pen testing, we do a lot of red teaming. That is one of the rich source also, where we get enriched threat intelligence is there. We do breach assessment. So if anything has happened, we do an incident response. So what has happened, when it has happened, what data has gone out, all those details we give. And that also, if we give, we identify what has happened, we analyze how it has happened and all. We also give steps to mitigate. What are the steps to mitigate those, and how to manage henceforth. So those things. So we do in all the verticals, payment systems, transport, ICS, industrial system, cybersecurity, or be it is IT, ITS, all the scenarios we have solutions for doing its assessment. Now we also have ask an analyst. So if anything is there deeply, anything can be asked to any analyst, threat analyst, and they can help you in understanding the details. This is what our recognition, why Kaspersky is important. So you can see we are in top layer in EDR, a top layer in APT, advanced persistent threat. We are leader in IDC, we are leader in quadrant knowledge also. And almost all and when you talk about the endpoint security side, the protection capability, we are there in NSS Lab recommended product, SC Lab, we are AAA certified. So AV comparatives, AV test, ICS Lab, you name it, we have it. So it is that kind, we have 53 times came in top 3 in 2020 out of 67 tests actually, which we have done. So that's a good part of us. And yeah, that's it. I hope I'm in time.
Thank you, Dipesh and Arun, for this insightful presentation. I'm sure our audience is better equipped to solve the case study now. We can take a couple of specific questions before we move on to the workshop.
Sure.
Please type your questions in the chat box now and we will take them up. Thanks, Arun. Looks like there is no question at this moment. If there are any, we can take them up at a later stage of the workshop.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
My
Let
pleasure.
me quickly explain how the workshop will function now. All delegates will be assigned to a specific breakout room. All the people in the breakout room are part of a team. Your team number will be informed to you by the room moderator. You can find the team member names in the participants tab. A link to the case study will be provided in the chat box in the breakout room by the room moderator. Please download the case study onto your own device. You will have 30 minutes to read the case study, discuss the solution, and create a presentation. Room moderator will help you to create the presentation. In the breakout room, you can get help from Kaspersky technical specialists. At the end of 30 minutes, the breakout room will be closed and you will come back to the main session. You will receive a time warning before you are exited. Please don't exit the rooms in between. If you do so, you will be out of the complete event and will have to re-log in again. After you return to the main session, we will have the team presentations. Every team will need to present its solutions. Please nominate one person from your team to be the presenter. Each team presenter will get 3 minutes to explain the presentation. Just to remind you once again, we have prizes for the best presentations. The prizes are rupees 3,000 gift voucher for each team member of the winning team, rupees 2,000 gift voucher for each team member of the runner-up team. If we are all ready, we can start the case study solving part of the workshop. Remember, the link to the case study will be provided in the chat box. In the breakout room, you can unmute yourself to interact with other team members. You'll now be assigned to the breakout rooms. See you all on the other side. All the best. Vivek?
Yes, Mantesh.
Acha, are jury members there or they have left?
I
don't see
Abhishek
them.
is there. Then we have Arindam. Who is
Abhishek
joining
is
from
there,
Nepal.
right?
Yeah.
Abhishek, if you can
Yes.
hear us. Hi, Abhishek.
Yes, we can. Hi.
See, right now, everybody is solving the case study. So once they are back, they will start the presentation. I think that's when your action will start. You have the jury scoring sheet, right, with you?
Yes,
which I had made. Yeah, if you can fill that up and mail it back to me. And post that, I will invite you guys to share your experience on overall judging of the format and what you see in the presentations.
Sure. So I see only 5 rooms. So I assume there will only 5 presenting.
5 teams, yes. Though I have put in 6, 7 as well, but only 5 is what you will have to put the points for.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We also have Arindam here. Arindam, if you can hear me. Arindam?
Yeah.
Hi, Arindam.
I think, yeah. I think it is allowed. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I was a little bit late because due to some meeting and all. So
no problem.
It's okay with me. I will have that Excel with me. I think, let me check.
Sure.
Okay. No issue.
All right. Okay. Suresh and Mehria, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So once the teams are back, they will start the presentation. That's when you as jury members will kick in for the judging process. I have mailed the case study as well as the jury scoring sheet. If you can fill up that and mail it back to me on the same email ID. I will.
So we have to fill up only the scoring sheet.
Yeah, scoring sheet. Yes, you're right.
But where is the case study?
That is also in the attachment itself. I had attached case study as well as the jury scoring sheet.
So we have to do it after they present, right?
Yes, after each team presents, I think simultaneously, if you can do, it will be easy for you to give the points. Otherwise, you'll have to recollect what they presented. So after each team presents, I think you can start the scoring.
Okay. But where is the case study? I can see only the XLS file.
Okay, you're not able to see the case study, is it?
No, I cannot see the case studies which are there.
Only there is one case study. It's a single page case study.
That
PDF
is
file.
from PPT from Kaspersky.
Okay, let me do one thing. I'm sending you guys the case study right away. Yeah.
Oh, got
Yeah,
it.
I have received it. I have read it. So I think you can just resend the document.
Yeah, I will just resend the whole thing to all of you.
Yeah, just two more questions if I can ask.
Yes,
This
please.
is from which email ID you have sent
It's
it earlier?
mahantesh.g@9.9.
You're sending it again anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm sending it again in any case.
Mantesh, I put it on chat also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sending it to all of you again, including Suresh Kumar. Hope Suresh, you are clear. In case there is anything or any clarification you may need, I'll be happy to take them.
Mantesh, I was asking, number one, the team will have some predefined slide format?
Yes. So basically, all the teams would be working on three things. First slide they would be working on is the identification of business challenges for the hypothetical company that we have created. Second, they will be suggesting technology interventions or technology solutions that they propose. So here, what we have done, since Kaspersky is the partner, we have limited them to think about only Kaspersky solutions. Yeah. Third thing they need to present is what are the business outcomes they expect after having identified the business challenges and proposing technology intervention. Yeah. So three slides. They will get 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one request. When you are finishing the team, just ask us whether we have scored or not and we are ready to go. Otherwise,
Yeah, absolutely. So what I will do, I will ask each one of you saying that if you have finished the scoring, please send it to me. And after that, you can share your experience so that we take that time while I'm tabulating all the results. You guys will be able to share your views, perspective, experience of the whole program.
So
I will
Naveen,
utilize that particular time to tabulate the results.
One question. We
Yes.
have to rate all the 8 teams.
No, there'll be only 5 teams. I have just put in 2-3 extra team names, but it is only 5 teams. 1 to 5.
So 1 to 5 we have to rate.
Yeah, 1 to 5 you have to rate between 1 to 10 points.
Okay, got it. And we have received your mail. That is one single page of the case study.
Yes.
And we have to send it back by email?
Yeah, please send it back to me on the email itself. I'll be checking my mails.
Okay.
Yeah, I will tabulate all the 4 sheets while you guys are sharing your presentation. So I'll utilize that particular time to tabulate the results.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
We are back, Mantesh.
Thanks, Vivek. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the main session. Hope you all enjoyed the discussions in breakout rooms. Before we start the presentation by teams, let me quickly tell you. The presentation sequence will be according to the team numbers. That's team 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Host will upload your presentation and give you remote access rights to change slides. Team presenters should unmute themselves before starting. Click on the presentation screen to get control and change slides. Every presenter will get 3 minutes to make the team presentation. Please stick to the 3 minutes. It's a sincere request. While the teams are presenting, I would request you all to complete the feedback form that's in your chat box now. So let's begin the team presentations. Can we start with team 1? Okay, there are 2 team presenters. So is it Srinivas or Amol who would be presenting, or both of you?
I'll start first. Mantesh. Yeah.
Okay, Srinivas, go ahead.
And Amol.
Okay, Amol.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Extremely topical. Again, a very, very interesting topic in the times we live in, right? And the great inputs from the team members, and also great inputs from Raghav, and also the Kaspersky subject matter expert. Right. So SPT has a real challenge in its hands, because it has obviously grown it started out as a IT enabled BPO company, and it has also kind of diversified into IT technical support, help desk, and so on and so forth. And then it's also obviously trying to attract customers, and it's also trying to attract funding, right? So there are obviously it is going through its phase of expansion. And one of the concerns it has, it has is current situation is because of the expansion and the companies it has and the presence it has globally, the data privacy and security is kind of not uniform, right? There is no single, there is no overall company-wide data posturing or security posturing from that standpoint. Okay, that's one, right? And then it doesn't have any one-stop, if you will, security incident and event management solution in place to hold the entire organization together, right? And because of its distributed or decentralized technology support, managing the entire organization from a security standpoint is also a huge challenge, right? And then added to that is the overall business continuity and disaster recovery process, which is not in place. No proper audit mechanism and audit control processes in place, right? And it doesn't have any centralized capability to monitor and manage the security instances or incidents across its wide network of offices, right? And what we've also seen is overall it is challenged with in ensuring customers are being retained, and there is a credibility and a revenue risk.
One more minute.
We'll go to the next slide, and Amol, please take over.
Sure.
Thank you.
So the specific tech interventions we've suggested is to adopt a robust security posture. Okay, utilize Kaspersky managed security operations center, ensure to have a centralized ITSM solution in place, implement Kaspersky breach assessment solutions, EDR and XDR tools for assessing impact of incidents. Kaspersky Cybertrace for intelligent threat intelligence, the platform usage. Cybersecurity, Kaspersky Security Center for micro-segmentation to cater to clients who would have different or very specific security requirements. Use the Kaspersky Cloud Console for centralized monitoring and obtain industry-relevant certifications from the security perspective. We can move on to the last slide, please. Okay, so the enhanced business outcomes of these activities would be an enhanced security posture, customer retention and acquisition of newer clients. Just a few seconds more, please.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. And enhance customer trust because of the security standpoint that we would gain. Increase profitability because of client retention and newer clients being acquired. High productivity between employees and greater visibility of the overall dashboard for the company. Attract fresh investor funding because it's already it's completed 3 rounds of funding, so it can gain easy funding in the next rounds, and obviously expand new levels of services because of its current security standout. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amol and Srinivas, for presenting on behalf of Team 1. That was a good presentation to start with. Good mix of Kaspersky solutions portfolio in tech intervention. Lots of focus on customer retention, profitability, and enhanced security for new funding. Thank you again. Can we have Team 2 presentation now? Gaurav?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
good evening, everyone. So I am representing Team 2 on this case study. So this case study is basically about a company known as Smart Process Tech, which is into the IT BPO sector. And they are recently facing the various challenges in terms of security, governance, and compliance, due to which they are facing issues to acquire new customers, new funding and investment for their company. And there has been a couple of major incidents have happened in their company, which are considered as security breach, due to which investors and customers are delaying their decision to be associated with this company. So when we talk about the business challenge, so foremost challenge is the loss of reputation and customer trust, which is the most challenging aspect companies facing. Then and underlying challenges are like their businesses are decentralized, because over the period of time they have acquired various companies, and all companies have their same and all such practices decentralized, and they are more in silos. So decentralized business IT solutions, that is another challenge, due to which there is lack of IT governance, visibility, which is the one key area, scalability, agility, security, and compliance. So all these issues companies are facing, being as they have acquired different entities and they are not centralized. So lack of unified security posture for the organization, that is something company is facing. And last but not the least, they don't have the adequate skill set to address all these things. So these are some of the key challenges which we have highlighted. There are many more, but in this short period, these are the key challenges which that company need to address. Okay. Now the new CEO of the company, Mr. Harish Mohanty, he analyzed various solutions in association with various companies, and ultimately they identified Kaspersky as their solution provider to help them out in all these security issues. Okay, so first of all, they have identified digital footprint intelligence from Kaspersky to analyze the complete posture of the digital presence in the organization. So where are the gaps, to identify all those gaps using this tool. Then OS hardening is second part, like all security operating system, securing operating system.
1 more minute.
Patches and signatures. Then automated security awareness program for employees, which is key training for the end users. Then extended detection and response XDR for visibility of network endpoint, mail and webware. CyberTrace for the threat intelligence platform, and security assessment as a service from Kaspersky. So these all tools they have identified to strengthen their security posture to win the test again. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so once all these are in place, so most important business outcome is enhanced business reputation and retention, which is the key, which is the foremost objective. Other than that, their system will be more agile, scalable, visible, and available at any point of time. Continuous and seamless connection. IT governance and compliance, obviously along with security, which will be more strengthened and more sound. GDPR compliance, because this company needs this from a regulatory compliance perspective for catering their customer needs. Increased customer trust and business, adding more customers and adding more services based on the winning customer trust. Leveraging trusted resources and building an economic framework. These are some of the business outcomes which will be achieved by using all these solutions from Kaspersky. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav, for presenting on behalf of Team 2. That was a good presentation. IT strategy roadmap was detailed well with Kaspersky solutions. A lot of emphasis on agility, scalability, governance, and compliance for better business outcomes. Thank you again. Can we have Team 3 presentation now?
Hello. Yeah, this is Pratik here. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible, Pratik. You can go ahead.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you, team, for the contribution. On behalf of team, I'm presenting this. So what I see seeing this case study is typical challenges which are there in the system, and I am able to relate. And if I put in the summary, while you mentioned few points here, if I put it in a nutshell, it is complexity. A lot of complexity in the environment, which is causing security issues, which is causing trust from the business and the investors. So this is what this typical challenges are, and a lot of things. If we simplify this togetherness, then we'll be able to meet the expectations. So please move to the next slide. So what we need to do in order to simplify the things, because ultimately we want to reduce the complexity, and there are different tools and technology. What we have done is, like, say, all these tools are tech interventions. We will be building it along with the process and technology. So while we are making tech intervention visible here, we are saying that we'll be integrating it with the process and technology together to bring a comprehensive solution here. The thing which we are talking about will be, like, say, near term and long term. So there are few things which are easily available, like, say, putting, like, say, the trace, or say Kaspersky trace, which will bring the SIM solutions together. Those kind of things I'm talking about here. And these things will be, like, say, few things would be immediate and the other would be long term. So that's how we have divided these things, and we have mentioned the tools here. The objective is that we'll bring the complexity to reduce day by day, and at a point we will achieve the nirvana. This is what is the objective of this slide. Can you please move to the next, please? While we, as all of us will agree that if we reduce the complexity, the IT is very much capable to deliver to the business outcome, because we all are here as a CEO, I would see that, okay, my business is available, it is visible, it is secure, and that's how I'll be able to run at a lowest cost. At the same time, I have maximum trust from my business, and my users are aware and happy. So more productive business, more like say strength, governance, which will ultimately attract more and more investor for my business. So these are the things, these are the outcomes which we will be achieving by putting all those Kaspersky solutions at different layers in long term, mid term, and short term, mid term, and long term. This is how our overall thing is, and that's how our story is about this entire transformation in a secure format, which ultimately is bringing our business to the front. Thank you so much, team.
Thank you, Pratik, for presenting on behalf of Team 3. That was a good presentation. Business challenges were identified well. Good use of Kaspersky solutions in tech intervention. I think the focus of business outcomes was mainly around enhanced security and scalability. Thank you again. Can we have Team 4 presentation now? Shakil?
Yeah, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and thanks for giving me a chance to represent Team 4 for this case study. So I think 3 teams have already gone through it, so much of the stuff is covered, but still we had a very good discussion, very good brainstorming, and this is what we could come up with. Starting off with the business challenges. So first and foremost, there was immense customer pressure, specifically for new customer acquisition, and the new customer acquisition was also actually a potential investor, which is sort of the crux of this case study, that potential customer also was a potential investor. So they had to increase the trust, and there was immense pressure. And the immense pressure was because of security incidents. There were 2 major incidents pointed out in the case study with the existing customers. One was around data leakage, and one was around a targeted attack that was left undetected for a very long period of time, and was only a customer who made them aware that the attack had already happened. There was a lack of any incident detection and response expertise. Had they had this expertise, they could have prevented those attacks or detected those attacks, but they did not have that expertise. Then another major challenge, which was very well presented, is disparate SIEM. So with all their acquisitions, though they have SIEM solutions, but they are all disparate. There is no integration and there is no consolidated view which comes across. Lack of visibility of cyber attacks, again related to the other things, so ultimately leads to a business challenge. Confidentiality and data leakage coming out of the incident that happened. No centralized SOC monitoring, very important point. They do not have a centralized SOC monitoring. They're still at a very primitive stage of their security posture. Users training, their end users are not well trained. So that also comes across as a business challenge considering the incidents. Anomalies in network traffic, that is pointed out. And last but not the least, lack of internal audit. So while they have been facing threats and attacks, but they did not have an internal audit process in place. Next slide, please. Specific tech interventions. So for all of these challenges, we have like sort of mapped them to the specific tech interventions, and we have derived, of course, from the Kaspersky services. And we found a very good match actually. So we'll start off with the Kaspersky security assessment service, wherein we will jot down all the different security risks that come across before we get into any remediation program. Then we will take up the Kaspersky CyberTrace threat intelligence platform to get a consolidated view of the threats. Then we will move on to the detection part, Kaspersky extended detection response platform, to get more visibility basically of the threats which are there in the environment and the risks which are there. Then we will move on to the endpoint. So first we will cover the perimeter or the network, and then we will move on to the endpoint as a strategy. So Kaspersky endpoint security for business will take up. Security awareness will come up. It's very important because we have to train the users as well. And lastly, another specific tech intervention, because there is a reference of dark web threats and all. So we will also do a dark web monitoring fingerprinting service from Kaspersky, where we are able to focus on these threats. Next slide, please. The business outcomes quickly, we'll get enhanced customer satisfaction and increased trust with the potential investor, which is the crux of this case study, faster market reach, increased employee productivity as well, who might not be able to focus because of the repetitive security attacks. Target to achieve, I'll just wind up, please. Target to achieve 5x profits in 1 year. IS and GDPR compliance is very important because they are in the BPO business. Protection from ransomware. Increase trust with the potential investor. It's all a question of trust. Once they get the trust in the potential investor, they'll move on. Increase company reputation, specifically because they are in the BPO business, so reputation is very important. Improve risk and compliance posture. Once they have that assessment done, then they will have an improved posture. Consolidation and orchestration of their business services. So the different services which are represented in silos, they have to be consolidated and orchestrated as a business outcome. And lastly, trained resources. So that will come up. Once they have the security awareness program, they will have trained resources to manage the security part, especially. Thanks all.
Thank you, Shakil, for presenting on behalf of Team 4. That was a good presentation. Business challenges were identified well. I think this presentation stood out a little, both in terms of IT strategy and business. They had a complete view of both, and they could together stitch a story well in terms of how IT is going to support business. There was a lot of focus on customer satisfaction, security, compliance, and getting additional investment. Thank you, Shakil. Can we have Team 5 presentation now?
I'm
Jagannath, if you can hear us, you can start the presentation.
Yeah, I'm Jagannath representing Team 5. We have done discussion and we got great input from my team members. From the case study, we understood smart process is a tech BPO, but they don't have any proper process and governance in place. And they're acquiring and expanding and they're expecting potential investor, but they're facing challenge of data leakage and target attack, and they don't have any subject matter expertise. So these are the basic business challenge as of now. Despite of organization unit, we have different setups, SIEM setups. Lack of centralized SOCs, they don't have lack of centralized. It is completely isolated and it is completely on silo. Lack of preventive mechanism. There is no preventive mechanism as of now. No XDR, EDR system in place. No centralized monitoring tool. Number of confidential data breach, as I mentioned, there is these two we have. One is data breach and is the other get attack. Third thing, we don't have any expertise to stop all these things. The next point, expertise enter value is getting down because of breach, because of attacks, and brand reputation is getting down also. Regulatory penalties coming. Entering infrastructure is not there, no strong governance. I mentioned there is a company for smart process, but they don't have any proper governance process. And lack of BCP, there is no business planning. So these are the big challenges. And what suggestion, go to the next slide. This is a big challenge for Harish Mohanty, who is the CEO and will work along with the CISO, and who want to become the global player in BPO industry. The aim is good, but they have to. These are the tech intervention is required to overcome the challenges. Complete dynamic visibility of all ICT asset system, because they have multiple branches. They don't have visibility for the MSP. Continuous reassessment, cash solution is the assessment we have to do it. Incident response. Next generation security we need to do it. We will have inbuilt AI and ML and real-time analysis. We need required from cash proceed and defense approach for DDoS attack and okay. So what will be the outcome? The outcome will be increasing business security, cyber security, and confidentiality of data. Earlier that was missing, it was getting leaked out, and regulatory compliance to avoid penalty and GDPR compliance as per the norms, which is required for the BPO industries. And we'll have strong governance and control, better ROI, return on investment, that is more critical. And enhance stakeholder confidence so that to get potential customer, to set potential investor and potential expansion, and strong brand image. So this will be the business outcome after implementing all these cash flow solutions. Thank you. That's all for us.
Thank you, Jagannath. for presenting on behalf of Team 5. That was a good presentation, good use of Kaspersky solutions with complete detailing in each of the implementation in tech intervention. Lots of focus on governance, compliance, stronger brand for better business outcomes. Thank you again. With that, we have completed all the presentations. Now it's time to select the best two teams, and we will do that with jury scores. May I request jury members to share their scoring sheets on mail with me? While jury members are sharing scores, I would like to invite Arun to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, team, to taking it very sportive and quickly giving a different dimension of to the challenges, business challenges, and what technical perspective can be done. And then the outcomes are vivid and different. And thanks to the jury, and thanks to everyone, thanks to 9.9 team for making this workshop good. And I would request the jury member to take it further with the discussion.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you.
Pleasure being part of this. Jury members have sent the scoring sheets. I have got it from Suresh and Abhishek. While others are sending in, can I request Abhishek to share his views, thoughts on the format and the team presentations? Over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And congratulations to each and every participant. You have made our job very tough. It's difficult to now decide which was a better team today, honestly. And and I was also going into the various rooms and was able to participate to see how the team members were contributing very actively. Hats off to each one of you. And I'm sure you would have realized that apart from the technical knowledge, there were many other aspects to this whole process of last 1.5 years, the case study based process, and which is kind of a unique to the 9.9 team, who always brings up with the very innovative concepts. I think one thing you would have seen is a concept called situational leadership. And you can, as a more and more you grow for leadership, you will find this concept coming handy. And in situational leadership, everyone is a leader. When the situation demands, someone steps up, plays the role, and then goes back in the team, and then someone else comes up and takes the role. So there is no one assigned as a leader, and there is no title or role which is given to you. It's the exact purpose of the situation that you come, fulfill, and go back in the crowd. So this is one thing I'm sure you would have learned when you raise your hand, said, I will act on this slide. Somebody was taking notes, somebody was doing timekeeping, someone was trying to enhance his or her knowledge. Others said, hold on guys, let's go back to the task at hand. So very, very nice role play as well. So that brings to the second point, the role play, and this is pertinent just specific to, today's event and similar such opportunities you will get. This is very important. And again, congratulations to all the teams for doing it fantastically well. I think all of you finished the slides in the allocated time, as I can see. And all this was done when the clock was ticking. It's like a time bomb which was going on, and exactly if you don't fill the points, you will not probably be in the contention for the top 3 places. So overall, again, congratulations to all of you. I'm sure a tough time to identify, but each one of you have participated well and shown your mettle. So all the best to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek, for sharing your feedback and views on the presentations. Can I now request Suresh to share his thoughts, views on the presentation and the format? Over to you, Suresh.
Thank you, Mahentesh. I fully agree with Abhishek's viewpoint. It was a great. First of all, the format was perfect. Dividing the real time, real life business challenge understanding from it how the challenges can be broken into what technical or IT specific challenges we are facing. Then looking at a technical solution which will ensure the business outcome. I think it was the format was wonderful. I liked the presentation from everyone. And of course, it's difficult for us to decide which team has done better. But seriously, there has to be just from my experience, I can share. As long as we think about solving a business problem, I think we have done, IT has done its job. So that has to be the main purpose of IT teams, not to just do a IT project or XTR project or any project. How you can really solve business problems. So in this particular case, the company needed very strong focus. They had a reputation risk and they needed investment management company to be sure about your own security controls. So the company had it was a the top management's perspective to have the information security in place and in very good shape. So it's a wonderful case study, and thanks for participating and doing your best. All the best to all teams.
Thank you, Suresh, for your views and feedback on the presentation. Can I request Arindam Singaroy to share his experience of judging case study workshop format and also the team presentations? Over to you, Arindam. Arindam, if you can hear us. Okay, let me come back to Arindam a little later. May I now request Mehriar to share his experience of judging the case study workshop format and presentations? Over to you, Mehriar.
Yeah, thank you, Naveen. I think one of the very good point about this case study was it is precisely mentioned as to what is your objective. I think that is something which is going to be very important. When in today's times, I've seen a lot of case studies which comes up for solving and identifying of the business outcome. Here it clearly emphasizes what is the issue, what is the technology solution which has to be implemented, and obviously what is the outcome in terms of a shareholder and stakeholder point of view. So if you look at the term security today, one of the very driving forces of security is teamwork. When we talk about teamwork, no company alone on their own is going to solve the problem. I think that is number one point, which is going to be very critical for us all to understand that if we collaborate, work with a solution which is going to be useful to your organization and also which is going to be futuristic, which is going to be very important. The second point which is coming into my mind is tangibility. When I talk about tangibility, future protection, I think nobody or any organization today will be able to guarantee you a very secure and safe environment. But I think there are certain small steps that an organization can take within themselves to set their processes right, set their cyber security framework right, and their governance standard, which is going to be very important to control over a period of time. So if you set up these benchmarks within your organization, I think you are going to be good enough to attack that. I think all the teams, 5 teams, did a good amount of justice in terms of the IBC, the technology solution, and obviously the business outcome. And I feel that the participation from all the team members was equally contributed. Some of the team members have stood out in terms of what they have understood and articulated in the presentation. But I feel most of them have understood it right and presented very nicely. So I wish all of them very well. Thank you, Naveen.
Thank you, Mariar, for your feedback and views on the team presentation and the format. May I now request Arindam Singaroy, if he's back and if he can hear us. Arindam, would you like to share your experience of judging case study workshop and the team presentations? Arindam, you are there? If you can hear us. Okay, not a problem. I think he might be having some technical issue. We will move on with the announcement of the results. I have the tabulated scores with me. Like the jury members said, all teams did really well. I think it was a neck-to-neck fight, and especially in the given time frame, right? One of the constraint was limited time. You had to think through, put that onto the slides, and also present in 3 minutes. Given this particular constraint, I think the solutions proposed were really good. Now let's see who the winners are. Just to tell you, out of the 5 teams, 2 teams are at tie, and the remaining teams, the margin of difference is almost like 1 or 2 points. So I think round of applause to all the teams. It was a great fight put out. Unfortunately, we have to choose only 2 teams. So let me go ahead with the runner-up team. Runner-up team is team number 5. Yeah, presented by Jagannath. Team members are Anshul, Yatin, Anup, Kaliranjan, and Vasanta. Congratulations, team 5. Each team member gets rupees 2,000 gift voucher. Your vouchers will be emailed to you shortly. Okay, so now the winning team. Winning team for the evening is team number 4, presented by Shakil and Vijay. Team members are Smita, Shrikant, Harish, Shushil, Khushi, Chitranjan, Sunil, Ashish, Jagdishwaran, Kusum, Sanjit, and Prakash. Congratulations, team 4. Each team member gets rupees 3,000 gift voucher. Your vouchers will be emailed to you shortly. With that, we have come to the end of this workshop. Thank you for attending this event. I hope you found it stimulating and informative. Do remember to complete the feedback form that is in your chat box now. A special shout out to our jury members and Kaspersky, Dipesh, and Arun. Thank you so much. I look forward to being in touch and hosting you at another session soon. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you, Ravin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.